Hello, we are going to be making a side scroller project over the next few days. So I just wanted to introduce what the project is, go over the example project, show you the planning page that you'll be completing. And then if you need help from me, I will be available in class or via Google Meet to set up and get help. So let's take a look. So, overview. Our question of the day is: how can new types of sprite movement and collision detection be used to create a game? So, we are going to be using what we've learned about collision detection and setting velocity to create simple side scroller games. After looking at a sample game, we will brainstorm what type of side scroller game you want to create. So, let's take a look at the example. So, I have a frog, a fly, and a mushroom. So it looks like um, the fly is how I score points. So I want to eat a fly. And it looks like if I hit the mushroom, my health dwindles. And probably, since I see a game over screen, if my health gets to 0, I am going to lose. And it tells me that over here. When the health hits 0, the game is over. So you can play this a few times yourself to get a feel for how the game goes. And if this is well, you'll be making your own game. So, by the way, a side scroller game means that the background moves across the screen from side to side. So, that means just like we have been doing when we're resetting some of our sprites, like when it reaches the left hand side, we reset it to the right hand side. That's what side scroller means. So, we actually already know how to do that. So you can decide the only user input that's being detected here is actually using the up arrow. So if you want to make your game a little bit more complex than just using the up arrow, you can. Or on your planning page that you will have, um, the directions say you can keep your game similar to this one, or you can change it to fit your preferences. So, in your project guide that you will be turning into Canvas, I will expect to see what aspects you would like to keep the same and what you would like to change. Also, since we're over here on the project page, you can also see in your sprite planning. For right now, we have a player, an obstacle, and a target. So again, if you're going to replicate this, you can keep those the same. If you are going to change, then you need to, identify what you're going to be doing over here. Then you're going to describe what you want your background to be, what your sprite interactions are, and then you're actually going to program. So I'm going to hop back over here to the actual lesson so we can see. So just as always, these levels are here for you to help keep you and pace you so that you don't start doing too much in one level. So in level 3, literally, you should just be drawing your background. This is helping you not tackle too much at one time. Level 4, you're just going to be creating your sprites. Level 5, think about the player controls that you want to have, up arrows, mouse input, etc. Then you're going to be looping. What are your sprite interactions going to be? In level 8, we're going to be adding a scoring and scoreboard. So the other thing I want to point out is that there are some things that have been provided for you. So um, for instance, the scoring mechanism has been provided for you. So we have 2 variables here that have been set up. Also notice that starting in level 3, all of the comments are here that help you, again, keep track of what you're supposed to be programming. So here is the game setup. So you need to create, this is where you need to create your sprites and set your velocity for your obstacles and your target. So if you're going to recreate, that would be the mushroom and the fly. If you're going to make your own, then not the mushroom and the fly and whatever it is. Then in our draw loop, we have here's where you're going to be putting in your background. So you can just leave these comments here. You don't need to delete comments. Comments are very helpful when someone's trying to help you debug issues. It lets the reader know what's going on in your program. And here is the looping mechanism of when it hits the left-hand side, make it go back to the right. So all of these things are here. And it also is not only keeping the score for you up here where it's initializing your score and your health, it's also actually telling you, it's also displaying the text of health on the score. So you can see health, and then it's displaying the variable of health. So you are also going to need to add a scoreboard, I believe. I don't see where it tells you your score. So you're going to need to add two new text variables, two new text blocks, sorry, that say score and then display the value of your variable score. So just be sure that you're using this to not get overwhelmed, and in each level, follow the directions that are given to you. I am super excited to see your first go around at a game. So remember, in this game, you need to have some sprites, you need to have an obstacle, a target, and the main idea is that we're keeping track of our score and our health, and certain things are happening based upon that. And actually, if we take a look, last thing of looking at our rubric, so we can see, again, we will get points for needing to complete your project guide, and it's turned in. Your program development, you're using good white space, good naming conventions, indentation, and comments to make the code easily readable. So again, don't delete the comments that are already there. Some of you are having issues with just using Sprite as your name. So starting with this project, if you are saying Sprite 1, Sprite 2, and Sprite 3, that is not a good naming convention, and you will lose points for that. And let's see, your algorithm and control structure. So this looks similar. Our game includes multiple different interactions, and you're using variables. So really, this second program development is something new. So as we have become more and more comfortable with writing code, our code should become easier and easier to read as we're writing it. So again, I'm looking very forward to seeing your side scroller game. Good luck.